Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me cut down to the essence and teach y'all some lessons. As expected, none contestants to full court wrestling. With aggression, y'all get lost in expressions. It's blood curdling, bone rattling, skill shattering.
Hey guys, welcome to the lab. This is the first episode of Sundaze with the Clink Room. Hope you guys enjoy this series. It's going to be a new series that lives here on the YouTube channel. Basically, I'm going to be going over every Sunday all the new designs that will be going into Monday Morning Critz from the Clink Room. Give you guys a breakdown of how to participate and how to vote in that process. And hopefully you guys will see some of the designs that you guys like here up for pre-order on Friday. And now that it is Sunday, we'll also be going through some last chance pre-orders, designs that will be closing tonight at midnight Eastern, and give you guys one final look, and maybe it'll push you guys to pre-order some hats. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of the designs coming up for Monday Morning Critz starting tomorrow. A reminder, once the Clink Room posts these in their stories, you will be able to basically vote whether or not you want to see this go up for pre-order starting on Friday for the Clink Room. So let's take a look. First design coming from Sheamus, Mallard Lake. Looks like one of those landscape type designs with the silhouette of a duck. That's kind of cool. Colorway is interesting. We see a lot of lavender, purple, green under. A lot of little details. We've seen these kind of designs do pretty well in the past. I'm thinking of like the T-Rex version, Arctos. That was a bear with the Northern Lights. But yeah, this is Mallard Lake. I hope the design will be I hope the outline will be raised. There's a lot of different colors going on here. With the sunset, it is an interesting scene here. A couple ducks on the pond too. Interesting to see if they can keep all the details in here. These types of designs usually do pretty well though. Moving forward, let's see. Land of Smiles, Clinkers, Gemini Triplets, and Sierra Gons. We'll give it a little quick shout out to some of the collaborations that have gone on. I think some of the coolest ideas and coolest designs have been coming from anything that's been like a collaborative effort. So it looks like a lot of different artists here are teaming up with different members of the community who may not be necessarily skilled in drawing, and coming up with cool ideas. I think of Lane kind of doing that a lot. I think of Creature Zoid doing that. Fitted Fanatic. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Those are kind of like the more recent examples. I know Pierre did it a bunch. I did it a couple times in the past, but yeah, it's cool to see some collaborative efforts going on. So right now we're looking at a dog on a scooter, which is kind of fun. He's got the peace sign going. Tri-panel hat, so front white panel. The unders looks like it's like a red. Hopefully they make it like a more distinctive color so you get a bigger differential from the orange. So it looks like it's orange red visor combo. Probably opt for a gray if it was up to me. There's some speed lines going on with the green outlines. I find that an interesting color choice. But overall, I think this hat's kind of fun. I want to know the backstory behind it. Is he a corgi? It could be a Shiba Inu. I'm not sure about the type of dog, but yeah, this is a cool little fun hat. I feel like a lot of speed's happening, but it doesn't look very fast. So yeah, either way, cool little hat. I would adjust I don't know what I would adjust exactly, but I feel like the lines, the speed lines aren't really helping it. Because it looks like it's trying to create motion, but it doesn't look like the thing's moving at all at the same time. So yeah, art-wise it's cool. Concept, it's fun. Land of Smiles, good job. Gemini Triplets and Sierra Gons. Royal Honey by Jake. This one's interesting. I think it's playing on a couple things. So queen bee possibly. So it's got the jelly, the royal honey. I googled royal honey because I wasn't sure if it was royal honey or royal jelly is what they get fed. Basically, at the larva stage, all of the bees get fed royal jelly, and I think once they select who the queen is, then they continue to feed that queen royal jelly until she kind of matures. Um, it's an interesting process for how bees figure out who's going to be the queen. But yeah, royal jelly is what they get fed at birth, all bees, and then basically how they change is whether or not they continue to eat the royal jelly. But royal honey, be careful when you Google that. That a lot of like different sex pills and stuff come up. But this is an interesting design. It, I don't love the choice of red eyes for the bee itself. Makes it look like a fly almost. I would want a little bit of color separation for the legs so they wouldn't kind of get lost in the brown and the walnut there. It is a cool kind of design. I'm not sure the bee's wings actually look like that. Kind of butterfly-ish, but yeah, it's like a cool concept. Royal honey, bee, got the honeycombs. Yeah, I think I would kind of play with the honey too a little bit, make sure it's more differentiated. Right now, kind of gets lost in the honeycomb. Overall, cool design. I don't know if exactly the physiology of the bee is accurate, but you know, it's a fun little hat here. Good job, Jake. Reaping Fortunes by Wind Studio. Grim Reaper, a lot of colors within the same kind of tone. We're seeing this like kind of like sky blue, lavender, purplish. Interesting. Yeah, just first off, it seems kind of cool. The smoke slash stroke outline works well. I don't know. Grim Reapers usually do pretty well. He's got like this crystal ball he's looking at, so maybe he's deciding who he's gonna kill next. Yeah, it's all right. I don't know if I love where the scythe ends. It kind of just ends in his cloak there. But yeah, overall, it's an interesting kind of design. I'd probably play with the proportions a little bit to make sure that there's enough space for the head to embroider properly. There is a lot of small details there. It'd be interesting to see if he incorporates any glow in the dark aspects. But yeah, overall pretty clean. I like how it's kind of in the same color tone, navy, purple, blue, kind of lavenderish. Yeah, overall pretty good design. Cedric Avenue by Clinker Matthew Bell, known for his hockey designs. Cedric 1520 Cedric is kind of the known place for where hip hop was born. Shout out to Toppers Store USA for teaching me that. Yeah, birthplace of hip hop. It's got Cedric Avenue, the street sign looks like with hip hop graffitied over it. I worry about the readability a little bit of this. Yeah, I worry about the colors with the way it's going to embroider. It looks like he just kind of put hip hop on top of the Cedric word with the opacity played off with. It would be interesting to see how this embroiders exactly. If there aren't any changes being put in, but yeah, it's a cool story. I don't know if the Cedric is quite legible enough. I don't know if the hip hop is quite legible enough, but overall, good attempt here from Matthew Bell. All right. The Boogeyman, Clinker Point X Co. I don't think I've seen this guy before. Interesting. It's like a under the bed view, almost the Boogeyman coming in and get you. I like it. It's cool. It's a different perspective that we're used to when we're seeing in hats. I do like how he kind of has it more horizontal than vertical. Yeah, it's interesting. The Boogeyman. I think here I'd play with the proportions of the head a little bit more. I mean, I know that the subject matter is kind of the hands and him grabbing at you, but I just feel like the head is a little bit too small. Overall, interesting colorway, gray, black, red eyes for the color pop. Interesting. Yeah, I would play with the proportions a little bit. Maybe get his teeth a little bit bigger, make him look a little bit more menacing. Maybe sharpen the claws a little bit. But yeah, overall cool. Cool little design here. Point X Co. I haven't seen their work before, but I'll definitely check them out later. Scotch. J Matt's back with the Scotch. Looks like a pun, right? So Scotch whiskey from Scotland. Looks like a Scottish guy playing the bagpipes. Cool little hat here. Who doesn't love a good bagpipe song, right? Mascot type logo. The stroke is very thin, so the outline is very thin. So always worry about how those will kind of embroider. Overall, cool pun. Scotch whiskey. Whiskey's made in barrels. Scottish dudes, I guess, wear this type of clothing. Interesting. Colorway is cool. Kind of like a cardinal burgundy almost. The green with the stone type cream color under. Yeah, overall interesting. I don't know if the subject matter is too narrow, but yeah, it's a cool little mascot type logo. Good job, Jay. All right, Adam, Fight Forever. Looks like it's his take on the infinity sign, kind of mixed with the Ouroboros type self-eating snake. Yeah, this one's interesting. So it's got like two different elements, like the gray with that kind of glow in the dark color, with the red. Yeah, it's a cool take on the self-eating snake. Fight Forever. It's interesting. I would make sure I'd pump up the teeth though. That the teeth on this thing are too damn small. You don't want to look like you have a snake that's teethless. Almost looks like a worm or a tapeworm. I'd play with the head proportions, I think, a little bit. Yeah, this is an interesting take. Button violation potentially with the oh no, it's not a two-tone, so it's not a button violation. I take that back. But yeah, Adam, cool job. Gotta check you out. So a lot of different new clinkers getting involved, so that's kind of interesting. Lamageddon. All right. Sheamus the Skunk, Creature Zoid. They had the this looks like a continuation of the Lampocalypse kind of series. They did a really cool one that just closed for pre-order. Looks like a llama world getting hit by asteroids, which is kind of interesting. Colorway's cool. Navy, kind of olivey, green with like a red under. Yeah, you can make out the world being like a llama continent. I'd add in a couple blues maybe on in the world itself. If it's supposed to be like an Earth, definitely want to include some water maybe. But details really clean. A lot of small details that I hope would be able to embroider right. So like within the fire, you see there's red, yellow, white, orange. Maybe might have to simplify that a little bit for embroidery's sake. But yeah, overall, a cool little follow up to their original hat. I think it entered the Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken. Hunapu. Sierra Gon's always killing me with the crazy pronunciations. I'm always going to butcher them, so unfortunately I do apologize in advance. But yeah, it looks like a Mesoamerica type design, praying to the maize god, maybe praying for probably good crops, stuff like that. Without any research offhand, I don't know too much about what he's talking about here, so let's look it up quick. All right, so it's Mayan mythology. So basically, he's the father of the Maya hero twins. All right, it looks like Mines pray to one hunapu for a good crop, but also a good life. So for mines, corn wasn't just a crop, it's who they were. And it kind of represents the birth and death and rebirth of a human. So that's interesting. Yeah, the maize god. Yeah, overall, cool design. One thing I would be wary of is the lack of maybe outline for this to kind of hold in and punch in the colors. It looks like a lot of the outlines kind of fall in the same green that it's being used in. So it kind of gets lost. Hopefully it'll be an outline and not negative space, but overall cool colors, um, cool iconography. Sierra Gon's always doing some cool stuff. And this will conclude the Monday Morning Critz section, and we're going into the last call section. Basically, these are up for pre-order until midnight tonight, with an expected delivery date of November. So I guess we'll start off with the beef and broccoli. This is a cool little collab design between COD and Creature Zoid. It's like kind of like a pun, beef and broccoli, and instead of beef and broccoli, so it's like a beef and broccoli colorway with the beef and broccoli. He's punching you, so he wants beef. So that's a cool little design from them. He's got a boxing glove. He's kind of doing like an uppercut. Yeah, I think that design's doing really well. So if you want to catch that one, I think the embroidery will come crazy. Second design moving forward is Uncle Kong. That one's done by Casey. So this is kind of a cool little design. It's kind of a flip on the Ulysses S. Grant iconography. He was dubbed Uncle Sam because of his initials. Basically, 18th president of the United States. As a commanding general, he led the Union Army in victory in the American Civil War. So they eventually used him as that, like, Uncle Sam wants you to join the army poster. So that's a cool little play on that. I think this was going to embroider really, really well. And with the 4th of July just wrapping up, you can get this in your hand and ready for you to own for the next 4th of July. I know it's a little ways away, but still, it's cool to have a theme hat. Dead Man's Revenge by Clink Room. Ryan out of Utah did this cool little ghost pirate thing. I think he talked about when he was sketching this, he said it looked cooler without the pupils, and then it ended up kind of turning it into like a ghost. So that's a cool little design. He kept it all in the same kind of color palette, I guess. So like that really, really dark, almost navy with the different turquoise and teals and mints and different highlights like that. Yeah, I think that will embroider. It should embroider pretty good. He's kind of got the sword in like a batting stance almost. So it's like a cool, almost sports logo, but not. And then we're going to go to the bottom left, which is the Neon Samurai, Siak and Gustavo. Siak, if you're watching this, man, congratulations. This is going to be one of his, I guess, last potential collaborations with the Clink Room. He's moved on to work directly for New Era Mexico. So congratulations to you, my friend, for that. But yeah, this Neon Samurai, he states that he wants to focus a little bit on the Bushido code, so the way of the warrior, and focus on the 7 essential virtues. So honesty, courage, respect, benevolence, rectitude, honor, and loyalty. So he's got a Neon Samurai in collaboration with his good friend Gustavo coming out for pre-order. Jinxed Jolly Roger by Milosh. This one's interesting. So it's a second pirate hat up for pre-order that's closing tonight. So I don't know if that helps or hurts Dead Man's Revenge. But either way, 2 pirates. I think this is, if I were to choose, I think this is the better of the 2. I like the idea of like the cursed pirate. You know, he's smoking on the pipe, and then the part of smoke that covers his face is kind of dead. So it's like the dead man pirate thing. I think it's kind of cool. It would be interesting to see if it could embroider with glow in the dark and kind of how that comes up. But yeah, definitely a cool one from Milos, one of the more popular and more used clinkers, I think, in the pre-order process. And then the last, but not least, Birds of Pride. Again, another collaboration, Fitted Fanatic Los with Yacobo. This is part 2 of their Oppo Tacos design. This was kind of a way to pay homage to the Mexican team and how well they did in the World Baseball Classic. Another eagle type logo. He's jumping and making a catch, no look catch, which is very hard to do in baseball. I almost feel like the glove's on the wrong hand. I think if you're making a catch, you're never wanting to really use your backhand to catch it. So if he's left-handed in this case because the glove's on the right hand, I think it should be flipped. Or if he's right-handed, so that would mean the glove would be on the left hand. I think the glove should be in the forward position. Not to say people can't make over-the-shoulder grabs. I mean, I've seen it done. It just baseball-wise, I just feel like it's a little bit backwards. But overall, cool design, cool concept. And those will close for pre-order tonight at midnight. So they did a little shout out to the beef and broccoli one. So I'm saying it's going to be a future Hall of Famer, which is pretty cool. And getting a closer look on it, man. Look at the different details. I think this is going to embroider crazy. But yeah, so make sure you get your pre-orders in tonight. Theclinkroom.com to get these in. I think they end at midnight tonight. So that brings us to the end of our first episode of Sundaze with the Clink Room. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. Make sure you guys let me know your comments down below. It helps me with the algorithm. The more you guys kind of participate and push me higher in the YouTube search results as I look to build up this channel. Until next time, I'm signing out, guys. Peace.
Stop.